They buried the evidence. We dig it up. For over 1,200 years, an entire Egyptian metropolis lay hidden beneath the Mediterranean Sea. Ancient historians wrote about it. Homer mentioned it. Herodotus visited it. But modern archaeologists dismissed it as myth. Until the year 2000, when underwater archaeologist Franck Goddio discovered what would rewrite Egyptian maritime history. This is the Artifacts Detective, and today we're investigating the sunken city of Thonis-Heracleion, Egypt's lost gateway that's revealing secrets no one expected to find. Welcome to the Artifacts Detective, where we investigate history's greatest mysteries through archaeological evidence. I'm your host, and today we're examining one of maritime archaeology's most spectacular discoveries, the complete Egyptian port city of Thonis-Heracleion, found intact on the seafloor of Abu Qir Bay. What we'll investigate today, the archaeological evidence that proved this mythical city was real. The groundbreaking discoveries that are rewriting Egyptian history. The scientific data revealing why an entire metropolis vanished beneath the waves. What the latest 2023 to 2024 excavations tell us about ancient Egypt's international connections. But first, let me show you something that will make you question everything you thought you knew about ancient Egyptian ports. For centuries, Thonis-Heracleion existed only in ancient texts. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote in the 5th century BCE about visiting a magnificent temple where the hero Heracles first set foot in Egypt. The geographer Strabo described Heracleion's location east of Canopus at the mouth of the Canopic branch of the Nile. But there was a problem. No physical evidence of this city existed. In 1933, everything changed. An RAF pilot flying over Abu Qir Bay noticed patterns beneath the water, geometric shapes that didn't belong on a natural seafloor. Yet, it would take another 67 years before technology caught up with curiosity. In 2000, after a 5-year search using the most sophisticated underwater survey equipment available, marine archaeologist Franck Goddio and his team from the European Institute for Underwater Archaeology, IEASM, made a discovery that would stun the archaeological world. Located 6.5 kilometers off Egypt's coast, beneath 10 meters of water and centuries of silt, lay an intact ancient city covering 110 square kilometers. The first major discovery was a black granodiorite stele, 2 meters tall and covered in hieroglyphics. This wasn't just any inscription. This was the stele of Nectanebo I, and it contained a revelation that solved a centuries-old mystery. The stele bore an official decree about port taxes, but more importantly, it contained the city's name, Thonis, called Heracleion by the Greeks. Two cities that historians had long believed were separate locations were actually one and the same. Checkpoint 1. So far, we've established that Thonis-Heracleion was real, not myth. But the real investigation begins now as we examine evidence that's rewriting our understanding of ancient Egypt's power and reach. Let's start with what Goddio's team has physically recovered from the seafloor. The archaeological survey revealed a massive temple complex dedicated to Amun-Gereb, the supreme god of Egypt. According to the Oxford Centre for Maritime Archaeology's 2015 publication, Thonis-Heracleion in Context, this wasn't just any temple. Carbon dating confirms construction began in the 8th century BCE, with major additions by Pharaoh Nectanebo I in the 4th century BCE. The temple served a crucial role. This is where pharaohs came to receive their divine mandate to rule. In 2023, 2 colossal pink granite statues, a Ptolemaic king and queen standing over 5 meters tall, were transported to the Grand Egyptian Museum. But the most spectacular find was a red granite statue of the god Hapi. Standing 5.4 meters tall, it's the largest statue of an Egyptian god ever discovered. Goddio described the moment of discovery. Never before has a statue of a god of this size been discovered in Egypt, which indicates Hapi's importance for the canopic branch. Here's where the investigation gets fascinating. Goddio's team has discovered approximately 70 ancient shipwrecks in and around Thonis-Heracleion, the largest concentration of ancient vessels ever found in one location. Scientific analysis reveals these aren't random wrecks. They include ceremonial boats used in religious processions, Greek warships with Egyptian construction elements, trading vessels from across the Mediterranean, a rare Ptolemaic galley discovered in 2021, trapped beneath fallen temple blocks. Dr. Damian Robinson from Oxford's Centre for Maritime Archaeology explains, the port and its harbour basins contain a remarkable collection of evidence for the maritime trading economy. The most recent excavations have uncovered evidence that's forcing archaeologists to reconsider ancient Egypt's international connections. In September 2023, IEASM announced the discovery of a Greek sanctuary dedicated to Aphrodite, along with silver ritual instruments from the temple treasury, gold jewelry, and fragile alabaster containers, bronze coins from the reign of Ptolemy II, Greek ceramics with black and red figures imported from Attica. But here's the shocking discovery: wicker baskets still containing fruit. Christoph Gerrig, who photographed the finds, reports they have lain untouched underwater for 2,400 years. Carbon dating confirms these offerings date to the early 4th century BCE. The fruit, dome palm, and grape seeds was perfectly preserved in the oxygen-free environment. Checkpoint 2. The evidence is mounting. Thonis-Heracleion wasn't just a port, it was the port. But there's one more piece that changes our entire understanding of ancient Egypt. The geological evidence, published by IEASM and the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, reveals a complex series of events. Earthquake activity. Seismic surveys show multiple earthquake events between the 2nd century BCE and 8th century CE. Liquefaction. The city was built on clay-rich soil that turned liquid during seismic activity. Subsidence. The entire Nile Delta has been slowly sinking for millennia. Rising sea levels, combined with land subsidence, this proved catastrophic. But the evidence suggests this wasn't one catastrophic event. The city sank gradually, with the final submersion occurring around 800 CE. The international connection. What makes Thonis-Heracleion revolutionary for our understanding of ancient Egypt is the evidence of cultural integration. According to the 2023 findings published by the Hilti Foundation, Greek merchants weren't just trading here, they were living here, worshipping here, and becoming part of Egyptian society. The archaeological evidence includes Greek sanctuaries alongside Egyptian temples, coins showing both Greek and Egyptian iconography, ships built using both Greek and Egyptian techniques, bilingual inscriptions in Greek and Egyptian hieroglyphics. Checkpoint 3. Now we understand why Thonis-Heracleion matters. But what does this mean for our understanding of ancient Egypt as a whole? Let's review what the archaeological investigation has revealed. Key finding 1. Thonis-Heracleion was Egypt's primary Mediterranean port for over 1,000 years, predating and then coexisting with Alexandria. Key finding 2. The city represents unprecedented evidence of Greek-Egyptian cultural integration, with both communities living and worshipping together. Key finding 3. The preservation underwater has created a time capsule from monumental architecture to organic materials like fruit, giving us an intact ancient Egyptian city. This evidence fundamentally changes our understanding of ancient Egypt's place in the Mediterranean world. Rather than an isolated civilization, The archaeological record shows Egypt as a cosmopolitan hub of international trade and cultural exchange. The discovery of Greek sanctuaries and Egyptian temples side by side demonstrates a level of religious tolerance and integration previously undocumented. According to Franck Goddio, only 5% of Thonis-Heracleion has been excavated. Future excavations may reveal additional temple complexes, residential quarters that could show how ordinary people lived, more of the 70+ shipwrecks, each a time capsule of ancient maritime technology, archives or administrative buildings that could contain written records. The 2024 excavation season promises more revelations. With each dive, archaeologists are uncovering evidence that challenges our assumptions about the ancient world. As Mostafa Waziri, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, stated, "This city was Egypt's largest port before Alexandria was established." The artifacts don't lie. The evidence speaks for itself. And what it tells us is that ancient Egypt was far more connected to the wider Mediterranean world than we ever imagined. Thonis-Heracleion isn't just a sunken city. It's a window into a cosmopolitan ancient world where cultures mixed, gods were shared, and international trade flourished. The city that ancient historians described as myth has become one of archaeology's most important discoveries, proving once again that the evidence buried beneath earth, or in this case, water, can rewrite history. What do you think about these discoveries? Does this evidence change your view of ancient Egypt? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more archaeological investigations like this, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Uncover more ancient mysteries, follow the Artifacts Detective, and join the investigation.